Ever feel like you're kind of you're getting in your own way?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like when it comes to success, there's something holding you back, but you can't figure out what it is.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, that's what we're looking at today.
Oh,
Some really common habits, but they're sneaky.
right.
They can really trip you up when you're trying to reach your full potential.
Yeah.
We found this awesome online resource about personal development. It has some great tips.
Oh, cool.
So hopefully by the end of this deep dive, we'll all have some of those aha moments,
Yeah.
some real strategies to get rid of these self-sabotaging patterns.
You know, what's really fascinating to me is how these habits, they seem so small,
Right.
but they can have a huge impact on whether we succeed or not.
It's like death by a thousand paper cuts, isn't it?
Totally.
The first one we're going to look at is something this resource calls paralysis by analysis.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah. Have you ever felt that? Where you get so stuck in planning and trying to make everything perfect
Oh, all the time?
that you never actually get started on anything.
Yeah, it's like you're so afraid of messing up that you just never even try.
The resource gave this example of like an entrepreneur who wants to start a business,
Right, right.
but they're just completely stuck in the planning phase.
Uh-huh.
Endless research, the perfect business plan, but no actual business.
Right, they're just spinning their wheels.
I totally get that.
Right.
It's almost like you're using planning as a way to avoid the real work.
Yeah, the scary part of actually putting yourself out there.
Right, because what if it fails?
Yeah.
What if it's not perfect?
Exactly. But the key here is that progress, even if it's a little messy, is better than perfection.
Yeah.
Taking action, even if it's not perfect, that's what creates momentum, and that's how you learn.
It's like that saying, you can't steer a parked car, right?
Exactly.
So true. You got to be moving to
Yeah.
actually go anywhere.
Right.
And the source really emphasizes this idea of taking small steps and adjusting along the way, focusing on progress over perfection.
It's about building that positive feedback loop, you know?
Yeah,
You take action, you learn, you adjust, you take more action.
totally. And that kind of leads us into our next sneaky habit, comparison.
Ooh, comparison is a tough one.
It really is. And it feels like it's everywhere these days, especially with social media.
Oh, for sure. Everyone's always showing their highlight reel, you know?
It's so easy to get caught up in that and start measuring yourself against other people.
And then feeling inadequate. Right.
Yeah, like you're not good enough, not successful enough, not whatever enough.
Exactly. The source actually talked about this, like how seeing someone else achieve something,
Like what?
like getting a promotion or buying a house, you know, those big milestones.
Mhm.
Instead of being happy for them, we can feel envious or inadequate.
Yeah, it's almost instinctive, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
But here's the thing, comparison doesn't just steal our joy, it also kills our motivation,
Right, because we're so focused on what other people are doing.
that we forget about our own goals, our own progress.
It's like that negativity bias our brains have. We're wired to focus on what we lack.
Yeah, instead of what we have.
Right. But the key, and the source really emphasize this, is to shift that focus back to our own journey.
So instead of looking at what other people are doing, we look at what we're doing.
Exactly. Celebrate our own wins, no matter how big or small.
And remember that everyone's path is different, right?
Totally. There's no one right way to achieve success.
What works for one person might not work for another.
Exactly.
And that brings us to our final success blocker, the comfort zone.
Ah, yes, the comfort zone. It's so cozy in there.
But it can also be very limiting.
It's a place where nothing really changes, and we avoid the discomfort of growth.
And the source had this great example. It was about someone who's afraid to speak up in meetings,
Oh, yeah.
even when they have good ideas to share,
Because they're afraid of being judged or making a mistake.
so they just stay silent.
And they miss out on opportunities to be recognized, to get promoted, to really shine.
It's like playing it safe can actually backfire in the long run.
Definitely.
And, I think all three of these habits we've talked about are kind of connected.
How so?
Well, sometimes we avoid discomfort because we're afraid of not being perfect,
Right.
or we compare ourselves to others who seem to be handling things so effortlessly.
And that makes us feel even worse.
Exactly. So it's all kind of tied together.
Yeah, I see that.
But the good news is that the source gives us some really practical ways to break free from these habits.
Oh, good.
It's not about becoming some superhuman who never overthinks or never compares or never feels uncomfortable.
Right, we're all human.
It's about recognizing those patterns when they show up.
And choosing to do something different.
Exactly. So my question for you listening is, what discomfort are you avoiding that might be holding you back?
Yeah, that's a good one to think about. What one small step can you take today to challenge yourself?
To step outside your comfort zone, to celebrate your own progress.
Imagine a year from now. What could be different if you consistently chose growth over comfort?
That's something to think about.
It is.